Hello again, and welcome back to our Naruto walkthrough. Today is a big step for us. Now that we are done with the tutorials, with the remedial classes, we are finally ready to start our first actual quest. Today we will focus on the dialogue between Obito and Sasuke shortly after Itachi's death. Please read the dialogue again, chapters 396 and 7, and as always, please try to find discrepancies. We need 2 discrepancies for this quest. As a little hint, our quest is going to revolve around the Amaterasu we can see right here. We are told Itachi programmed it in order to kill Obito. Alright, let's start with the discrepancies. The first one is quite simple. It is Obito trying to remove his mask in order to show his face to Sasuke. Obito is trying to convince Sasuke that he is the legendary Uchiha Madara, and in order to prove that, he wants to take the mask off to show his face. But the problem is, Obito does not look like Madara at all. So by showing his face, he's only going to prove that he's lying. It's a discrepancy. The second discrepancy is a bit more technical. It is from Itachi's perspective. Can you find it? Alright, the second discrepancy is, we are told Itachi programmed this Amaterasu in order to kill Obito, with the idea of protecting Sasuke. At first glance, it seems to make sense, but if you think about it, it really does not. At this point of the novel, Obito wants Sasuke alive in order to take him as his apprentice, but as far as Itachi knows, the other Akatsuki members do not. So let's say you do kill Obito in this chapter. What happens next? What happens next is Sasuke is left alone, injured, vulnerable, unable to defend himself, in an Akatsuki hideout, with the likes of Konan, Nagato, and Zetsu. Sasuke is just dead in that scenario. The only reason why Sasuke is not in any immediate danger is that Obito needs him alive and is protecting him. So if you're trying to protect Sasuke, killing Obito right now would be completely stupid. This is of course a discrepancy because we know Itachi is not stupid. If you're trying to protect Sasuke, a much better move from Itachi's perspective would be to let Obito take Sasuke as his apprentice for the moment, let him train Sasuke, give him the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, teach him how to use it, etc. And only then, once Sasuke is a powerhouse thanks to Obito, you count on Naruto and Koto Amatsukami to bring Sasuke back to Konoha's side. It would be a much better move, and it is in fact exactly what Itachi did. Itachi gave Naruto his Koto Amatsukami precisely so that it would be triggered once Sasuke acquires the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So clearly, Itachi trying to kill Obito now with Amaterasu would make no sense. Alright, we have our discrepancies, that's wonderful. Let's continue. What is the next step? The next step in our methodology is to find a character's goal and correlate it to the discrepancies. Here let's not waste any time on the character's goal, it's simple. In those 2 chapters, Obito wants to convince Sasuke to join him and become his apprentice. Now, can you correlate this goal to the discrepancies we found? The first correlation is a direct continuation of the first discrepancy. One of Obito's arguments to convince Sasuke to listen to him is that he is the legendary Uchiha Madara. And in order to prove his identity, Obito attempts to take his mask off in order to show his face. But of course, that would fail, because Obito does not look like Madara at all. However, Amaterasu happens to get triggered exactly as Obito is taking off his mask, right here. So Sasuke never actually gets to see the face. From Sasuke's perspective, it looks like Obito was genuinely attempting to show his face, and wasn't able to because of unforeseen circumstances. So Sasuke now has very little reason to doubt that the face he was about to see genuinely was that of Madara. So thanks to Amaterasu, Obito managed to convince Sasuke that he looks like Madara without actually showing his face. How interesting. I'm sure you can already tell where this is going, but let's keep following our methodology. Can you find the second correlation? Our second correlation for today is praising Itachi. Obito wants to turn Sasuke against Konoha, and his main argument is going to be that Konoha has wronged the Uchiha in general, and Itachi in particular. Itachi was forced to murder his family, and he was then branded a traitor. So Sasuke should avenge him. And now the more you paint Itachi as a hero, the more impact this argument is going to have. With this Amaterasu, Sasuke is told that his big brother tried to protect him from even beyond the grave. How cool is that? Of course, praising Itachi is fine, but Obito also wants to praise himself. Sasuke has a history of seeking the strongest teacher. He left Konoha because he believed Orochimaru would be a more powerful and therefore more competent teacher than Kakashi. Then, when Sasuke believed himself stronger than Orochimaru, he betrayed him. So, if Obito wants Sasuke to view him as a master, he needs to prove that he is powerful. Once again, this Amaterasu is going to accomplish exactly that, because Obito is hit point blank, completely off guard by Itachi's Amaterasu, and he survives completely unscathed. So, sure, Itachi is cool, but Obito is even better. With that, we can conclude our quest. Our hidden plot is Itachi never programmed this Amaterasu. Obito is the one who set up this Amaterasu in order to get Sasuke to join him. What a move. Our conclusion is confirmed by Obito's thoughts. We learned in one of his recent tutorials that characters often lie in their thoughts in Naruto. And here, just look at Obito's lies. He's saying exactly what we just explained. Itachi was cool, he almost killed me, but hey, I'm even better. As a conclusion to this quest, I would like to highlight how intelligent Obito is. When we see him again in this walkthrough, we are mostly going to see him being manipulated by smarter characters, such as, of course, Samehada. But while he is not sitting at the top of the food chain, Obito is still far from stupid. This Amaterasu right here proves that Obito can play quite intelligent moves himself.